Hey, what's going on YouTubes? This is Sebastian with Spin Driving School. Today we are going to take a look at 5, or at least my 5 top reasons why people fail the road test. So if you're one of those people, or if you're afraid that you are going to fail if you have a road test coming up, check out this video and hopefully it will give you some insights into, how to pass. Okay, so first and foremost, I can't stress this enough. From my experience, this is probably one of the biggest things, and there's going to be a couple of factors that will kind of underline this main point. I would say nerves. Nerves are huge. Under that, I would put like kind of ABCD. Experience, practice, skills, and confidence, and all of those things combined, would technically lower your nerves possibly, but everyone deals with nerves differently. Everyone gets nervous. I would say 90% of my students, when they show up for their first lesson, unless they've had lessons with other driving schools, possibly other instructors, they're nervous almost always. So imagine how much more nervous you're going to be on your test. If you're not confident in your skills, if you don't have the experience, if you don't have the confidence, your nerves are going to be even higher. Different people deal with them differently. I'm a very anxious person. I get nervous quite a lot, actually. I mean, hell, I went to renew my license last July, I believe it was, or 2 years ago, whenever it was, and I got nervous. So, people just get nervous being in that building. It does strange things to people, and even the most experienced drivers, even though I haven't saying all those 4 earlier points, even if you have them, even then, if you get nervous enough and you make mistakes, it will cost you. So nerves are huge, and again, it's different for different people, but everyone gets nervous either a lot or less. People who are used to like maybe public speaking, performance, if you're a dancer or something along those lines, if you're used to being judged and tested for various reasons, or more frequently than on average, then you're probably going to be dealing with these things a lot better. But most people get nervous and they just fall apart under pressure, and the rationale just goes out the door. So that is huge, being point number 1. Okay, now for number 2, I would say shoulder checks. So I can't tell you how many people I know, have heard of, even had students that failed basically just because they were not doing enough shoulder checks, or doing them at the wrong time, or too early, or too late, or too many, or just inconsistently, or they missed them on the left or on the right turns. At the end of the day, you basically have to do them, not basically, for every turn. If you're turning your wheels and you have your signal on, shoulder check in the direction that you're moving or turning, right? Proper shoulder checks to the left, to the right. You're looking outside of your blind spots, area that you cannot see, outside your peripheral and your mirrors. Those are your blind spots, right? So it's usually in those back windows, and I mean back windows on the side, I guess it would be your backseat driver windows, or even through the back window, if you want to look that far, but that's what your mirrors are for, your rear view mirrors. So you're checking your blind spots. So shoulder checks, number 2. Happens a lot. So improve your shoulder checks, and the timing and knowing when to do them and how to do them will make your road test a lot easier. Now for number 3, I would say 30-kilometer zones, and that obviously is going to include schools, parks, playgrounds, and construction zones as well, which mainly those are 30, with exceptions if the speed limit is higher. Usually construction zones tend to be anywhere, from usually about 30k under whatever the regular speed limit is, or 20 rather, sorry. So those are obviously all going to be in effect as long as it's a live construction zone, but probably the more common ones would be schools and park zones and playgrounds that give people trouble. So again, if you know how to spot them, where they end, where they begin, etc., that would definitely improve your chances in passing that road test. I do have some videos available on that, so check them out, and that's that. Now for number 4, we have rolling stops. So obviously that mainly includes your 2-ways and 4-ways, but also anytime you stop at any intersection, even painted islands or those painted boxes, or where you're not supposed to block the intersection, in front of fire stations, fire halls even. But mainly 2-ways and 4-ways, and obviously any other intersection. Another common one is when people stop on the red light for turning right, or lack of stopping rather, or rolling stop. So if you are going to be turning right on the red light, make sure that you come to pretty much a full stop, scan, shoulder check, all that fun stuff. So full stops, no rolling stops on your road test is number 4. And now for number 5 is going to be pretty much any dangerous action. So anything that obviously is going to get you or cause an accident, anything that you can pretty much get a ticket for in real life. So anything that's a ticketable offense is going to fail you automatically. Again, not stopping at stop signs. Some parking lots in those Icbc locations actually have stop signs, so make sure you stop at those too. Obviously, just going back to that 4th point. So your dangerous actions, I would say more common ones are on intersections, left and right turns, people not yielding or taking those unsafe gaps. But I mean, it literally could be anything. If you get honked at and you are doing the wrong thing, a lot of times that can be a dangerous action. Anytime the examiner has to take physical or verbal strong control over the road test, that is usually going to be a dangerous action. Obviously, and depending on the situation and the circumstances, there may be some leeway, but you want to minimize the risk that you put yourself into, and obviously the examiner. It's all about safety, so safety is your number 1 priority. Now, you can say that this should have been number 1, but I would say, as far as, at least in my experience, the frequency of when people fail the road test, dangerous actions are, they're still maybe below the other points, or for the most part, but maybe someone else is going to have a different experience. So this is just what I see in the last 6-7 years that I've been doing this. So this has been my experience. So take care of those points that we just mentioned. Don't worry about parking. Parking is important, but it's not the most important thing on your road test. Some people can't even get out of the parking lot, and they fail even before they get to the driving portion of the road test. It's called a road test. It's not called a parking test. So work on the things that are most important, your driving skills, your maneuvers, your turns, your speed maintenance, etc., etc. And it will make your life a lot easier, and it will boost your confidence as well. And hopefully that will help you on your test. At the end of the day, practice, practice, practice. And remember, we all get nervous. Try to be calm, get some sleep, drink your water, try to relax, breathe, and you got this. Stay safe, stay tuned.